Recording in progress.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is Jocelyn, Communications Director for the Senate Democrats. For this press call this morning, I want to first say, if you need permission to record, we give that permission. For questions for Senator Rios, you can go ahead and put those in the chat. And after she's done with her remarks, we can go ahead and proceed with those questions. And yes, everyone, you do have permission to record. All right, let's get started.
Good morning. First, I want to acknowledge the victims in this situation and the trauma they have experienced. No one should have to go through something like this, and my heart goes out to them. We stand firmly with survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence, and we encourage anyone who needs help to call the Arizona Sexual and Domestic Violence Helpline at 602-279-2980. Resigning was the right thing to do considering the serious allegations. We know that the Arizona Judicial Branch will deliver justice, and we pray for healing and support for all victims. The process to find his replacement in District 30 will now begin. Secretary Hobbs will officially notify the Legislative District 30 party of Navarrete's resignation. A citizen panel will nominate 3 potential replacements, and the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors will choose the next senator from that group. I can now take questions.
Hi there, Senator. What's your message to citizens, specifically perhaps those in his district, but in general in Arizona, that perhaps might lose faith in leaders, specifically him that was working with children?
I think to the constituents of his district, it's important for them to know a replacement will be made to Navarrete's seat, and that person will represent the district. I am assuming very well. The board and the local citizen committee will work hard to put forward names of folks that can represent that community. To others that are concerned, again, I think all of us are concerned about victims of sexual abuse. And to those folks, we offer again that they please call the Sexual Assault and Domestic Violence Helpline and receive any assistance that they need.
So we have a question, right to reporting manager crimes and police reports, statements as a citizen.
You know, Navarrete is entitled to his own response, and he will have his day in court.
I don't know if anybody's moderating this. This is Howie. The complaint that was filed by Kelly Townsend seemed to suggest that there was some link between the positions that Senator Navarrete took on sex ed and somehow the allegations against which he's accused. Obviously, other Democrats have taken similar positions. Why don't you discuss all of that and how that all fits together and what you think of those allegations?
Thank you for the question, Howie. I think that it is incredibly inappropriate and unfortunate that people are trying to use this horrible situation for their own political benefit. I think it's incredibly transparent, and we should be putting the focus on the victims. Quite honestly, I think it is despicable to attempt to use this situation for one's own political benefit. There is no connection to what Senator Townsend is attempting to make, and it's just unfortunate that she is attempting to do so.
So how do you combat that? I mean, you know, there are a lot of people, even absent what happened with Senator Navarrete, who question the quote unquote sexualizing of Arizona's children with sex ed as early as kindergarten. You know, talk to me about the issue and why many Democrats think that you should be able to have sex ed before 5th grade, despite what was passed at the legislature.
You know, Howie, this press conference is with regard to Navarrete's resignation, not to relitigate legislation that went through this past session.
Senator, this is Mark Phillips. I wanted to ask you, yesterday on Twitter, a fella talked about his connection with Navarrete and that he was a victim for a protracted period of sexual harassment. I'm wondering, in your role as the leader, have you heard about this prior to this announcement on Twitter yesterday? And has there been any sort of whisper campaign or whisperings in the hallways about the senator and what we now know to have happened?
Thank you for the question. I can speak to my experience, and as both the House Minority Leader and Senate Minority Leader over the Democratic caucuses in which Navarrete was a member, I was never made aware of any inappropriate behavior.
And Senator, to follow up on that, do you plan to do any kind of internal investigation, talk to this progressive organizer who said that he was harassed by Senator Navarrete, and see if there's anything looking back that the Senate Dems or the Senate in general could do or could change in the future to try to prevent another situation where you may have a member being accused of sexual harassment, being able to nip that in the bud earlier?
Well, first, let me acknowledge that the young man who wrote what he wrote, I'm sure that was an incredibly difficult step for him. But currently at this point, Navarrete is no longer a member of this body. We no longer have jurisdiction over him. We were never made aware of any allegations of inappropriate behavior during his tenure here. And that is quite literally all there is to say on that.
Senator, it's Peter Seymour from KTAR. What do you and your colleagues look for in a new colleague to replace Navarrete? What do you hope to see that the committee will produce, and what the supervisors will eventually choose?
Thank you for the question. I think that this is an opportunity for Legislative District 30 to identify 3 replacement potentials that they see as representative of their district, as being able to fight for their district. I mean, ultimately, this is going to be someone that they believe can take up the charge and represent them. So I have faith in this process that those folks closest in the community will be making the choices, and ultimately the Board of Supervisors will select one.
And do you think this replacement will have to shore up the image of the not the district, but of the position that Navarrete once held? Is there going to have to be some healing, some reconciliation, and to help move past all of this?
Well, I think in general, there is going to have to be healing amongst everyone. This is an unfortunate situation that I think has taken many people by shock. But at the end of the day, this new replacement will step into this position and be their own person, and I'm sure lead the district very well.
I guess we've beaten this to death.
Does anyone else have any further questions?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Senator. Thanks, Jocelyn.
Thanks, folks, and I'll be sure to send out the recording to everyone who was part of the press call. Thank you.